Hi, boys and girls. Today is June 3rd, 2020. And today I'm going to finish up our story from yesterday, Bartholomew and the Oobleck. I am going to review our popcorn words for the week briefly. We're going to read the poem together, and then I'm going to jump right into the science experiment, okay? So we're going to start finishing up the story, Bartholomew and the Oobleck. Do you remember what was happening yesterday? So the king had just ordered these magicians to come up with some type of concoction that's going to fall from the sky because he's completely bored with what's been happening just naturally. So he has ordered them to come up with something. Dawn was just breaking and Bartholomew was still standing, trembling, watching at the bedchamber window. But now, as the sun rose, Bartholomew smiled. Those silly magicians hadn't done a thing. Then suddenly, Bartholomew Cubbins stopped smiling. He was seeing things. No, there was something strange up there in the sky. At first, it seemed like a little greenish cloud, just a wisp of greenish steam. But now it was coming lower, closer, down toward the fields and farms and houses of the sleeping little kingdom. It was swirling around the topmost turrets of the palace. Tiny little greenish specks were shimmering in the air right over his head. Little greenish blobs just about the size of grape seeds. He stretched out his hand. He started to catch one. Then he pulled back his hand. There was something frightening about those blobs. Bartholomew slammed the window shut. "Wake up, Your Majesty," he shouted. "Your oobleck is falling." My goodness. The king, oh, he's so excited. Look at him. The king sprang out of his royal bed sheets. "By my royal whiskers, it is," he cried. "Oh, that beautiful oobleck, and it's mine, all mine." "I don't like the looks of those blobs, sir," said Bartholomew. "They're coming down now as big as greenish peanuts." "The bigger the better," laughed the king. "Oh, what a day. I'm going to make it a holiday. I want every man, woman, and child in my kingdom to go out and dance in the glorious oobleck." "Out in that stuff?" asked Bartholomew. "Do you really think it's safe, sire?" "Stop asking foolish questions," snapped the king. "Boy, you run to my royal bell tower. Wake my royal bell ringer. Tell him to ring the great holiday bell." For a moment, Bartholomew Cubbins didn't move. "Run?" barked the king, and then Bartholomew ran. He's going to follow the directions of his king. All right, let's see. Across the sleeping palace, Bartholomew ran. Then up the ladder of the high bell tower, he climbed to the bell ringer's little cubbyhole in the belfry. "Ring your bell," he called. "His Majesty, the king proclaims today a holiday." The old man crawled out of his cot. He grabbed the bell rope. "What's the holiday for, Bartholomew?" "You'll find out soon enough," said Bartholomew. The bell ringer yanked the rope. Nothing happened. He yanked it harder. Still nothing happened. What's wrong with my bell?" he murmured. "I'd better take a look outside." He poked his head out through the little trap door. Oh, do you see the green oobleck coming? Uh-oh. You think it's clogged something? "Merciful gracious," he gulped. "What is that?" "Here it comes." "It's all over my bell like greenish molasses." "Not only your bell," Bartholomew cried. "Look at that poor robin down there in that tree. She's stuck to her nest. She can't move a wing. That oobleck's gooey. It's gummy. It's like glue." Oh no, there's the poor bird right there. Oh, the bell ringer wrung his hands. "If that green stuff sticks up robins, it'll stick up people too." "Oh no, someone's got to warn the people," cried Bartholomew. "Got to wake them and warn them to stay inside their houses." "I'll tell the royal trumpeter," he shouted. He turned and slid like lightning down the bell tower ladder. Oh, I hope he gets there in time to warn everyone. To the trumpeter's tower raced Bartholomew Cubbins, and on up the steps 4 stairs at a time. As he ran, he could hear the plop, plop of the oobleck on the window panes. It was pelting against the palace walls as big as greenish cupcakes now. It's getting bigger. It's falling down in thicker clumps. He yanked the covers off the snoring trumpeter. He shoved his cold trumpet right into his sleepy hands. Get up, warn the people! Blow the alarm! Alarm? Yawned the trumpeter. Then his eyes saw the oobleck. Those green things, Bartholomew. Where'd they come from? The king, panted Bartholomew. His royal magicians made them. The royal trumpeter leapt from his bed. That king of ours should be ashamed. He jabbed his trumpet out of the window. It'll blow, he shouted. I'll blow, he shouted. The loudest alarm that's ever been heard in the kingdom of Did. I hope he has time to warn everyone. But all the royal trumpeter blew was a glug. Uh-oh. The oobleck is stuck inside the trumpet, so he can't warn the people. My horn, he gulped. One of those green things flew inside it. He tried to blow it out. He couldn't blow it out. He tried to shake it out. He couldn't shake it out. I'll get it somehow, he yelled. I'll pull it out. No, shouted Bartholomew. Don't you touch it. The trumpeter's hand was already in it. His fingers grabbed hold of the lump of oobleck. He could feel it squiggle around in his fist like a slippery potato dumpling made of rubber. He pulled with all of his might. The oobleck began to stretch. Then, gloing, the oobleck snapped back inside the trumpet. It yanked his arm back with it right up to his elbow. I can't wiggle a finger, the trumpeter wailed. Oh, Bartholomew, what will I do? I don't know, and I hate to leave you stuck to your horn, but if you can't warn the people of the kingdom, I've got to find someone who can. Out of the room and down the stairs raced Bartholomew Cubbins. So he's going to go find help, and I hope that he does. Down to the chamber of the captain of the guards. The captain was humming in front of his mirror, combing the ends of his handsome mustache. Captain, do something, shouted Bartholomew. Do something. Why? Smiled the captain. What's wrong? Captain, haven't you seen the dreadful oobleck? It's coming down as big as greenish baseballs. Oh, that stuff? Laughed the captain. What's so dreadful about that, lad? You know, I think it's rather pretty. Captain, pleaded Bartholomew, it's dangerous. Nonsense, snorted the captain. Lad, you are trying to frighten me. Captains, my boy, are afraid of nothing. That stuff's harmless. I'll show you. I'll eat some. Eat some, gasped Bartholomew. Oh, no. But before Bartholomew could stop him, the captain was leaning out his window, scooping up some oobleck on the end of his sword. Don't, Captain, don't. My goodness. He's going to eat it. I certainly would not eat that. The captain did. By the time Bartholomew dragged him back inside the room, his mouth was glued tight shut with oobleck. He tried to speak, but no words came out. All the noble captain of the guards could do was blow a little sticky greenish bubbles. Look at it coming out of his mouth. Oh my goodness. Forgive me for leaving you, Captain, said Bartholomew, but a captain full of bubbles is no help at all. Bartholomew stretched the poor man out. He left him there on his chamber floor. Bartholomew went tearing through the zigzagging palace hallways. I'll get the king's horse. I'll ride through the country. I'll warn the people of the kingdom myself. He pushed open the door that led out to the royal stables. Oh, no. Bartholomew stopped. He could go no further. The awful oobleck was plumping down as big as greenish footballs now. Too late to warn the people of the kingdom. There were farmers in the fields getting stuck to hoes and plows. Goats were getting stuck to ducks. Geese were getting stuck to cows. Outside the palace, it was piling up. Great greenish tons of oobleck, deeper and deeper on every roof in the land. There was nothing Bartholomew Cubbins could do out there. Shaking his head sadly, he stepped back inside. Oh, no. But inside, a moment later, it was just as bad as out. With an angry roar, the oobleck was suddenly hitting the palace harder. It was battering and spattering against the walls as big as greenish buckets full of gooey asparagus soup. Like a sinking boat, the whole palace was springing leaks. The oobleck was ripping the windows right off their hinges. It was dripping through the ceiling. It was rolling down the chimneys. It was coming in everywhere, even through the keyholes. From every bedroom in the palace came the howls of lords and ladies, frightened in their nightgowns. They came jumping to their doors. Go back in your beds. Get under your blankets. Bartholomew Cubbins went crying through the halls. But nobody paid the slightest attention. Everyone in the palace started rushing madly about. Oh boy, this is a super long book, boys and girls. That's okay, I'll definitely finish next time. I am gonna stop it right here just because we have lots to do today. And like I always say at school, not a lot of time to do it. All right, I don't wanna make the video too long. So we're gonna pause on the book and we'll definitely finish it tomorrow. We're almost done. I wanna review our sight words. Bye, say bye 3 times. Bye, bye, bye. Will you be my friend? Will, ready? Will. Make. Will you make me a cake? Make. What's this one? On. Good. I put my phone on the table. On. O-N. Nice. And our friendship poem. Just listen. You don't have to have it in front of you. My friend is nice. We like to play. We play together every day. We laugh and cry and laugh again because you see we're friends. So practice. All right, so next I'm really excited to do the experiment for today. So I want to back my camera up. I do have my senses mat. I want to make sure that I have an eraser in case I need it, and I have my marker. All right, so I can record my observations. So today we are going to be making ocean in a bottle. And friends, I used to do this all the time. MJ actually gave me the idea to do it. Thanks, MJ. I haven't done this in such a long time. I used to do it all the time when I used to teach during the summer. I used to teach school during the summer, and we would always make an ocean in a bottle because I would do a unit on the ocean and sea animals. So I think you're really going to like this. I need, for this experiment, baby oil. Kind of lost its label, but it's baby oil. I need sand, tiny shells, tiny seashells that can fit, because I had a whole big bag of shells, and what I did is I just sifted through. I think these shells came from Florida. I used to go out to Florida on vacation all the time, and that's where I collected them. The last couple times I went, I did not collect shells, but I did many years ago, and I put them inside this bag, and I saved them, and I use them for the different decorative pieces that I make. But I pulled out some of the smaller ones that would fit inside the lip, inside the bottle, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, doesn't really matter what you put in first. I'm gonna start with the sand just because it's a little messy. So I'm gonna open the lid, and I'm gonna put the sand in. And I have a tray here just in case I could use a funnel. I don't actually have a funnel. I have a toy funnel I could use, but it's okay if I get some on my table. It's okay. I'm gonna pour a little bit of sand in. So ocean in a bottle requires sand. Other things that you find at the beach are the shells, of course, water. And I'm going to put some blue food coloring in it. Maybe I'll do 2 more. 1, 2 more. All right, nice. Put the sand to the side because I don't need it. All right, awesome. Now I'm going to put my little shells inside. My smaller shells that fit. So pretty. I think I got them at Siesta Key Beach, which is in Florida. My parents used to live there, and I used to go there all the time, but then they moved back to Rhode Island. I haven't been there as much. We still go once in a while. All right, next, what I'm gonna do is, of course, we need water. So I'm gonna pour the water in. little bit more water. Then I'm gonna pour, maybe I might do a little bit. Use baby oil. Probably from that point on. So I'm gonna undo my baby oil, the cap. I'm gonna pour it in. There we go. Kind of squeeze it out. See the bubbles? Ooh, it smells really good. I definitely smell the baby oil. I see the bubbles. All right, nice. Now I have water. This is the same cup that I used when I did the shaving cream experiment. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of blue food coloring gel. I'm gonna mix it up. So it dissolves, means that there's no more chunks in it. There's no more of the clumpy parts of the gel, that it's dissolved into the water. Still gonna mix, 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 mix until it's almost completely dissolved. Okay, and then, again, if I had a funnel, that would be a little bit more helpful, but that's okay. Ooh, pretty. Ooh, I love it. Oops. So I have a tray in case for any spillage. So I'm not really worried about if I spill it. Oh, is that right at the top? Oh, it is. I couldn't tell with the bubbles. All right, so I'm gonna, oh, definitely making a mess. There we go. All right, I'm gonna make sure that my cap is completely sealed. I'm gonna use, I have napkins right here. Oh, I can't wait to shake it. I couldn't tell that it was right at the top because it was so clear. I love the bubbles. All right, let's see. Nice. Make a little bit of a mess. My water is a little cloudy. That's so cool though. I love it. Maybe put a little too much water in it. Could maybe filter some of the water out. Yeah, because you can't even tell. Like, so the water ends here and the baby oil is up to the top. So probably needs a little bit more baby oil and a little less water. But still, you get the idea. Ocean in a bottle. Blue food coloring, sand, shells, and you can tip it back and forth. Back and forth. There we go. Nice. Shake it up. There we go. I hope that you enjoyed that experiment today, and I will see you tomorrow.